Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in today. This is Donna from Riverside Beads. We're a UK bead shop based in Market Deeping in Peterborough. So for those of you that are local to us, do pop along. They are a fabulous range of beads and findings and our very popular kits. So we're moving on to some of our Christmas kits today, and we're going to cover Sugar Plum Fairy and our beaded cracker charms as well. So all of our kits come complete with everything. I've picked one of these out for the Sugar Plum Fairy, and you get enough for this particular one to make 10 of these little lovely ladies. So I'm going to show you how they work and how they build up. So you do get step-by-step instructions which take you through each and every step, including things such as head pin loops if that's something that you need further work on. We do nice big pictures so you can really see how to do those. So that will be included in your kit as well. Now, with the Sugar Plum Fairy, she's made up of elements. So I'm going to start by making her legs. You get everything you'll need within our kits, or we sell everything separately as well. So depending how you like to buy your bits, you can grab what you need either separately or as a complete kit. So I'm going to make her legs first, and we've designed these kits to resemble what the characters that we're creating them for. So this is her little ballet shoes for the Sugar Plum Fairy. So I'm popping them on a head pin. Head pins have a little base on them, and that base holds the beads to stop them falling off. So I've popped on the little, it's a sort of bullet shaped bead, a tiny little delicate one. They make lovely spaces as well. We do have those on our website and in store. But they also look beautiful for little ballet slippers. So let me push these bits out of the way and I can work here then. So I've got the one ready. Now, instead of going right near to the bead, which we often do when we do head pin loops, we want to leave this gap because this resembles her legs. So we're just cutting off, you know, around 1.5 centimetres, I suspect, something like that, depending how long you want the legs to be. So I've used my cutting pliers first. I'm then going to dip into my round nose pliers and make a loop at the top here. Now this will disappear inside the skirt, sort of inside the flower, so you don't have to worry too much about it, but it's quite good practice to work on your head pin loops. So I'm just going to bend that at a 90-degree angle there. Just make sure we've got that in shot. Okay, and then I'm going to roll that round. And then I find that I can't go round any further, so I release the grip, I keep my pliers in there, and I bring that round like so. And that will get that, so it's a nice round loop that will be able to include in to attach onto something. So that's that bit. Okay, and that's ready to go. And then I'm going to repeat that for the other leg. So this one's a little trickier in a way because we want to make sure that we're getting the same size leg, or roughly, it's not the end of the world if not, but if you go with this and attach the bit that you cut off, so you know where to cut. Remember with your cutting pliers, they dipped in there, but the flush bit that cuts is actually on the back there. So make sure you're lining that bit up to the right side. And then I'm going to bend that again at the 90-degree angle at a similar place, so you're leaving a similar space in to turn that, but you've not got any beads to contend with, so it's quite a smooth transaction round. And I've ended up doing that in 3 little turns, which is absolutely fine. It's just manipulating that round the pliers in little turns to get that round into a loop. So we've got 2 similar size loops which we'll be able to attach onto our legs there. Then we will go with the next bit, which is her body. Now we need to cut a complete bottom off of the head pin. Remember to point that down when you're going into your max, otherwise it sort of stabs, it can shoot everywhere. So I'm going to turn a loop at the base there. And this one is turning it into an eye pin. So if you're buying this not as a kit and you're buying the elements, you could grab hold of these as eye pins. So that's that bit there ready to attach on. Now, what we're going to do is attach the legs onto this, and then we'll have a think about our other elements and what we need. So I'm now switching to my flat nose pliers. So I use 4 pairs of pliers mainly for these things. These are chain nose, so either chain nose or flat nose are both flat inside, and these are just tapered, whereas these ones are slightly wider. So either of those would be fine for this, but I'm going to use the chain nose because I find I like that point just to see what I'm doing. Now all I'm doing is flipping that up, so it's not opening completely, it's just flipping it up slightly. And then we pop those on there. Bear with me, because that one jumped up the loop and up the headpin, which is not what we want. We're wanting that to stay. That's not behaving. It's because I need to tip it that way, but I'm thinking you won't be able to see what I'm doing if I do that. Okay, so really, if you tip it that way, it'll stay in the dip for you, but I was just thinking you wouldn't see. So let's get that closed before it does that again. And then they're secure on there now, so now they can't go anywhere. So that is your legs onto your head pin. So that's that bit ready. So let's put those to one side for a moment while we think about what we're going to need next. So we're going to need our ballet skirt, a bead cap, a really large bead cap to go over the top. So it sort of makes it look like the netting on a skirt and all those multi-layers you get on a ballet skirt. You're going to need a little bow-shaped bead, which sort of resembles her waistband, and then a heart, which is for her top. So we're going to get those bits ready, and we can pop those straight on now. You never know, I might have to go straight through both of them. No such luck. Just bear with me. That's better. There we go. So they're through there. And what these petals do, they lend themselves just beautifully to this flower. So the petals of the bead cap sit in between each of the petals of the flower. So they are perfect for this job. I'm popping the bow on. And the heart on. So you can see her starting to build up now. Then we're going to carry on and add her arms. So we just need to build those up. Now, the arms made from head pins, or if you had ball end head pins, you could use those. But we're going to sort of almost turn them into a ball end head pin by popping a ball directly onto the head pin. Now, think about how long you want the arms. You probably don't want them as long as the legs. So you probably want to cut a little bit more off this time. So maybe more like 2 centimeters off. And then if you want to do the other one at the same time, remember the amount we're cutting off. That's the bit we're cutting off. So we've got the same amount. Okay, so that's there. So then we're going to take our round nose pliers again and turn another head pin. Just move her out of the way so you can see this. Bending it at a 90-degree angle again. And rolling that round. Our 2 little turns there. And then we're going to do the same the other side, 90-degree angle, and roll it round. So we're using this in a different way to how we would often use head pins. We're going to pop these on this way. So we want them to be sticking out of the edge there. So we're going to put both of those head pins on there. She'll need a bit of adjusting at the moment. You may wish to add a drop of glue if you want them to stay static, depending what sort of movement you want on them. She's a ballet dancer, of course, so she wants to dance and move her arms around. That's that there. Then we go for the head. Oh, her little neck first. So tiny little seed bead there, little size 8 seed bead. And then we go for the head. There. That's that. And then we're going to pop another head pin on the top in a moment. But first off, we're going to add her crown. So here's what we do. This crown is another bead cap. So it's got a diamante one down the top and beautiful for putting a bead either side of that, and looks lovely as a spacer, but we're turning this into a little crown for our princess. So what we're going to do is open up each of these little bits here, just with some pliers, very gently. Be careful not to snap them. They will give you a bit of movement, and we're just widening them because they're about 6mm, I think. So we want to make them, this is more like an 8mm head. So we're wanting to make them so they're going to sit flat on top of her head there. Round like so. Okay. That is our princess. Now this just need, I'm going to grab it here. It only looks a bit fiddly because I'm trying to show you guys. But what I'm going to do is hold on to that there with the pliers. And I'm going to, I probably don't need to cut any off actually, or maybe a little smidgen there, tiny couple of millimeters. Okay, and then we're going to bend this at a 90-degree angle. Now this is, we just need to dip those pliers in there, and we need to put it in between. When we bend it, try and be careful of your fingers there. If you need to, pull it over with the pliers. And we're going to pop it in between the spikes of the crown. So we can't quite get a 90-degree angle because we've got this bead here, but we're going to do it the best we can. And then we're going to take our round nose pliers again, and we roll in the loop, and it will sit inside of the crown. Now we've got full step-by-step instructions in the kit. I want to show you, I know it's sometimes tricky to see it on the video, but I want to show you the detail of the instructions you get, because I can sort of get the focus really clearly on there for you. You can see how that sits into the crown. So that'll give you the detail that you need to if you're going for this kit to make it up. So she is ready to hang now. Now sometimes I sort of position her arms a little bit, give them a bit of a shape in. If you want to just turn them down, either just bend them by hand or slightly with the pliers, just to give a bit of shape in there. And if you do want to add a drop of glue just to keep those more static, you're welcome to. And if you want to glue down the little legs and arms, sort of down at the bottom, the little bead. But I like the movement of it. It gives it that fluidity, especially if she's a ballet dancer, our little Sugar Plum Fairy. So voila, that's your first one. That is Sugar Plum Fairy. And the little loop, of course, you can attach this onto your Christmas tree. So put a little piece of string on the top. Also really cute for little bag charms, little girls' necklaces as well. An absolute beautiful princess project. So that is our Sugar Plum Fairy. I'll just move her to one side. She can pop herself over there for a moment. And let's look at our beaded Christmas cracker charms. So when you get these, they'll be in separate bags. I just grabbed enough just to make. I had a couple of pairs to make for a friend and the ones I needed for demo. So I just grabbed what I needed of the things. Now, let's look at these. So these are our brand new Christmas crackers. These launched, I think it was last month. And these are such a popular little spacer bead. Now, Riverside Beads have manufactured these exclusively, and they are tiny little spacers going from these tiny 4mm up to a 12mm. There is 5 sizes of these that we do, and we do them in all these beautiful exclusive colours to Riverside. So we have all these plated just for us, and they're only available here in the UK at the moment. So you won't find these anywhere else. And we do, I think we've got about 20 colours in the 5 different sizes. So right, that's all my sizes separated. So that's how they'll come with your different sizes. But this is quite distinctive in your 2 sizes. We've got 4mm and we've got 8mm, and we've got those in silver and we've got them in blue in this scenario. The other kit that we've currently got is a rose gold one as well. So you get them, instead of the blue, you then get the rose gold. But we do sparkle spacers in all the colours. So if you just grab yourself 2 colours in 4 and 8 and silver or gold in 4 and 8, you'll be able to recreate these in whichever beautiful design you so wish. So let's have a look at the beaded Christmas cracker. So this is what we're making. Again, you get the full step-by-step instructions to guide you along your way. And these again are built up on a head pin, but then this we actually include the ear wires in this kit. So it makes 10 crackers, 5 pairs of ear wires. So all of these are really great starter project. I find a head pin loop a real essential beginner's thing to learn. So if you want to make earrings, bag charms, necklace drops, anything like that, this technique that I'm showing you today is a real essential part of jewelry making. Turning the head pin loop, it's, you know, often we get people in who want to make ear wires first off as their first project, and this head pin loop is the key part of that. So I'm picking up my sparkle spacers, and because they're all the same size, it's just getting the colours right. So it's 2 8mm in the silver, 1 blue and 2 more silver. When they cluster together, the little wheels on the spacers, the little prongs of them, all sit and knit into one another. So then that just gives it a beautiful stripe of the colour that you're working on. So that's the starting point of the cracker. Now here is where we get the shape and build the shape up. So I'm popping a 4mm on there, and then I'm going for a little bead cap. Now this is a 6mm bead cap. What that does is just round off and define the centre bit. You know, when you pull the cracker, that centre bit of a cracker where that opening is before we get to the main body of it there. So that's that bit. And then we carry on with a 4mm coloured. The other thing we experimented with here is adding a little bit of cord around there. So like you would get your Christmas ribbon, and that's an option as well, but we don't include that in the kit if you decide to go along those lines. Then we carry on with our pattern. So we've got 2 8mm in the silver again, and one of your coloured ones. So we're going for the blue in this case. And we've got one of your silver. These are all in the bigger 8mm ones. You could scale this up or scale it down as well. So because we go up to the 12mm, if you fancied something more as a tree decoration, keep an eye out, because I'm having an experiment with those, just trying to get the right size bead cap on them. But keep an eye out, and I'll show you one that I've made into a Christmas decoration. So hopefully you can see that. So you can see that joint bit in the middle where we've domed that off with a bead cap, popped our 4mm spacer, and then our sparkle spacers for that centerpiece. And then we carry on to add a repeat of that on the other side. So 4mm coloured, like so, and then a domed. Now this one domes out rather than in. So last time we domed it so it went round the side we were doing. This way we're going to dome it so the dome is facing upwards, because we're making the opposite of there. Now this one actually gets hidden, that 4mm, it just sort of goes in there and helps it sit properly. And then we're on 2 silver, 2 coloured and 2 silver again. And you'll see how gorgeous these, one, they knit together just beautifully, and how much they resemble a lovely beaded cracker, but they look like they're much more complicated than they are. So that's that there. So you can see that real defined space where the cracker goes in the middle, the body of the cracker, and then the opposite side of it. Oh, except I only put one that side. Hold on. Just check myself. Yeah, it's only one. Apologies. Well, I've created a new design there. The design will be telling me off. So it's 1 in the middle and 2 of the silver. That's it. So it's just one of the coloured in there as well. So, but you've got a certain amount of beads, so you can mix and match those and change them up as you wish. So I'm going to do a regular head pin loop again. Then I want to show you how to make it, attach them to ear wires as well. So let's have a look. Put those all out the way, and hopefully you can see this. So it's a regular head pin loop as I've been showing you. So you're cutting it now. This is different because we've got beads that we are wanting to make the design up to. So you cut it, leaving about 1 centimetre above the top of the spacer, like so. And then we're going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. Now this is where we like to get it nice and tight to the top of the bead. So very slightly with the tip of the pliers. And then I bend it with my finger, but do be careful because that end bit would be sharp. So when I bend it, you'll see I'm actually bending down there. I'm not bending on the end of the pin. So if you decide to do that bit, take care. If not, bend it with the pliers and just sort of pull it over a bit with the pliers. But I've got that really nice and tight now to the top of that bead, which will help my loop to be nice and secure. Round those pliers again. And bring that round in sort of a couple of turns until that's closed. That is nice and secure. And if you've pulled on your cracker a little bit there, as I did, and just bent it over, I'll just show you what I've done. I've sort of bent it like that as I was doing it. Well, oh, that's kind of cute, isn't it? But yes, they are meant to be straight. Just straighten it up there. Just the pin in the middle because I was using the force of the pliers to bend it over. So that is your gorgeous sparkle spacer cracker charm. So let's have a look at putting this onto a ear wire. So ear wires work, if you go back to the Sugar Plum Fairy where we flipped open the base of the pin, ear wires work like that. You either flip open the bottom of the ear wire, the loop, or you flip open the top of the pin. But these wouldn't have been opened before, so I often find it quite useful to do it this way. If you because it's only metal, if you bend it forward and backwards too many times, it can snap it. So depending how with ease you found your head pin loop, you might find this technique easier. Bend it closed again. So that was flat nose pliers again. I went for chain nose. And that is your sparkle spacer cracker. So let's recreate the other one. So we've got a pair. So it's 2 8mm. See if I can get it right this time on both sides. One of your 8mm blue and 2 8mm silver again. Oh. 4mm silver that gets hidden, and a bead cap, 4mm coloured, 2 silver, and then alternates. One of the pairs I needed to make done, isn't it? Anyway, that one there. My blue 4mm in the middle, and then don't forget this bead cap gets domed the opposite way because we're getting ready to add that one inside of it. And then it's 2 8mm, one of your 8mm coloured, and finishing off with your 2 8mm again. And they just knit in beautifully. If you look at them when they're all open, they're like that, but then when you tip them together, they just knit beautifully together. And the way we've brought the design out in the centre, it allows you to give it that defined look of a cracker. And if you fancy a tiny bit of ribbon or something round, go ahead. Just we tried it with a nice thin bit of cord. That worked quite well. So remember, you're bending that, getting as close to the pin as you can for best results. So I'm bending it over with my finger. And then remember to use the same place on your pliers, particularly when you're making earrings, to try and match up those loops. So it's sort of cutting the same, oh, sorry, now I've shot there. It's cutting the same amount off each time, and then using the same place on the pliers. So you've got a similar size loop at least. That one looks a fraction bigger. So sometimes I take it back and just trim it if it is, but I think that's near enough to not worry. I'm going to open that there, hook that on, and flip that closed again, and you have got yourself one gorgeous pair of Sparkle Spacer cracker earrings. So you can either pick up a kit that will make this in its entirety, and I'll add a link if you're watching us live on Facebook, and if you are watching us back on YouTube, we will add a link into the different ones that we do. We stock so many of these Sparkle Spacers. You can also make your own designs, which is rather nice. So just change your colours, pick your favourite colours. You know, if you're making it to go with an outfit, you can use your Sparkle Spacers that suit you. So I will add links into both our Sparkle Spacers and to our kits that do these. We have also, what I'm hoping to do, just bear with me a moment, I'm hoping to just share a page here so I can get this system to do what I need it to. Hold on. Because we have got a brand new Christmas page on our website. So let me see if I can show you. Okay, I'm hoping you can see our website there. So this is our website. I'm on the computer, but on the mobile, it just all sits underneath one another. So I'm scrolling down, and this is our Christmas shop. Now, what's nice about going into this area is everything's in there for you. So our latest kits are there in order, and if you want to see all of them, you can click there. We've got a previous Christmas video I did where I made these other gorgeous charms, so that's available to watch on our website. We've then got some of our angels, which are always popular all year round, but lovely for Christmas too. If you're thinking of becoming a bead box member, we've got details of that in here. So if you're thinking a Christmas gift for yourself, or subtle hints, as many of my members have, to their partners to join, or a gift for somebody else to try and get them into an activity, this is the perfect thing for you. So there's more details here about joining our membership for you. Some of our Christmas charms, so you can add these onto your projects. Some of our gorgeous gift bag sets. So if you're giving, that you've got little sets to bundle together. And then we've got lots of other gift sets as well that are not always Christmas, but would be perfect for giving as gifts for Christmas. So that's a fabulous page to look at. And as we get more tutorials, we may switch and change those in there. So I will add that page into our chat today as well. See more details of that. So I think that's everything I was planning to show you today. So any questions, pop them on our YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe for our weekly updates. And if you're here on Facebook with us, then these will be here every Wednesday at 3:30. Between myself and my colleagues, we will try and bring you some variety and show you some of the different techniques that we do here at Riverside. Of course, things are starting to open back up, so people are able to visit us in store. We've got classes coming up, So do keep an eye on everything that's going on with us here at Riverside. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.